Welcome back to Inherited Dawn, a One Piece podcast. We are breaking down the manga, chapter by chapter, and today we are on chapter 14, Reckless.
And reckless is the word. This chapter is all about people reaching their breaking point, and the very different ways they react when pushed to the absolute edge.
Oh, for real, but forget breaking points for a second because we need to talk about what happens when you fire a cannonball the size of a small house at a sleeping Ruranoa Zoro.
The answer is apparently not much.
Not much. The house is gone. The street is a crater. The foundation is dust. And Zoro just stands up, dusts himself off, and basically asks who woke him up from his nap. He looks more inconvenienced than injured. If you want to be here every time we break down a moment where one of the Straw Hats redefines the meaning of indestructible, make sure our signal is reaching your transponder snail. We post every week.
Let's start at the beginning of the chapter with the Buddy Pirates. Mohji has just had a very bad day.
A very, very bad day, and you can see it written all over him. He's not just stumbling back to Buggy's base, he is a broken man. He's covered in dirt, his clothes are torn, Richie the lion is completely out cold, slung over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes. He looks like he's seen a ghost.
It's the fear in his eyes that really sells it. This is a man who confidently calls himself the Beast Tamer. He's one of Buggy's top officers. He's used to being the threat, not the one running from it. To see him so utterly terrified is a testament to what he just witnessed.
Exactly. He's trying to warn his captain, trying to get the words out, but he's so shaken up he can barely speak. He's stammering, gasping for air. He manages to get out that Luffy is a tough man before he just collapses, and the rest of the crew, they're just standing there like idiots. They're like, a tough man? A muff pan? What's he saying? They completely miss the urgency.
They do, but Buggy doesn't. This is where we get a really interesting glimpse into why Buggy is a captain. He's surrounded by fools, but he's not one of them. He filters out the noise, the stammering, the confusion from his crew, and he hones in on the one piece of crucial information. Mohji, his strongman, was defeated by someone tough.
And his reaction is immediate. He doesn't know what a gum-gum pistol is. He's probably not yet made the connection with the Straw Hat, but he hears tough and his immediate reaction is get the Buggy Balls ready. He doesn't mess around. He goes from 0 to 100 in a split second.
It's a fascinating leadership moment for him. He's a clown and a showman, yes, but he's not an idiot. He heard enough to know that his usual tricks, his chop-chop powers, might not be enough. He respects the unknown threat.
Instead of sending another person to investigate, he immediately escalates to his ultimate weapon. You gotta respect it. He's pragmatic. A lot of villains in this series have too much pride. They'd send their lieutenants one by one to get picked off. Buggy's pride is in his flashiness, not his one-on-one fighting prowess. So if a problem comes up, his solution is simple. Blow it up with an absurdly large cannon. Problem solved. It's smart in a Conti evil kind of way.
He respects the threat, even if he doesn't understand it, which, as we'll see throughout the series, is a much wiser approach than many of his peers take. Meanwhile, the person who caused all this chaos isn't even aware of it.
Well, not Luffy. He's getting patched up. But we cut to the evacuee camp outside of town where Chouchou finally arrives.
And what a powerful moment that is. The panels are almost silent. We just see this little dog, limping, burned, but determined, dragging himself towards the people of his town.
The little guy. He's hurt, but he's alive. And the reaction from the townspeople is just overwhelming. The whole camp just erupts in relief. They're crying, they're cheering his name. They were so worried about him. This dog is the heart of this town, I swear. He's their mascot, their history, their furry little symbol of defiance.
He is. He represents their shared memory of the town's history through his owner. His return immediately validates Luffy's seemingly pointless fight. Luffy fought for something that mattered deeply to these people. And in the very next breath, their relief for Chouchou turns directly into worry for their mayor.
It's such a well-paced emotional beat. The high of seeing Chouchou is immediately followed by the pit in their stomach when they realize Mayor Boodle, who went back for him, hasn't come back yet. It's a perfect transfer of anxiety.
And Boodle is having a very difficult time. We cut back to him in town with Luffy and Nami, and he is just drowning in shame.
Oh, big time. He's watching Nami, a stranger, a thief no less, carefully tending to Luffy's wounds from the fight with Mohji, and you can see the thoughts churning in his head. This kid, this pirate, got these injuries fighting for a dog, for his town's dog. And what did he do? He ran, he hid. He's just crushed by his own inaction.
He says it himself, and the words are just dripping with self-loathing. A dog and a passing pirate fought for his town, while he, the mayor, the one who was supposed to be its staunchest defender, just stood by and watched. You can feel the weight of that failure on him. It's more painful than any physical blow.
And Nami sees it too, but she's also having her own revelation. She's watching Luffy, this simple, smiling idiot who just risked his life for a dog's pet food store, and she says something that's feeling like it's being physically pried out of her. He's not like other pirates. The gears are churning in her head. She's starting to see it.
That's a huge shift for her. Her entire worldview, everything we know about her up to this point, is built on the foundational belief that all pirates are scum. They are thieves, murderers, monsters. There are no exceptions. For her to even voice the possibility that Luffy might be different is a massive step. It's a crack in the dam of her entire belief system.
It's like she's trying to make sense of him. The data doesn't compute. He acts like a hero, but he flies the flag of a villain. How does she reconcile that? Boodle hears this little moment of doubt from her, and it's like it gives him permission to finally let go. He just unloads.
He tells them the history of Orange Town, and this context is absolutely crucial. He says that 40 years ago, this whole place was just barren land, nothing.
An empty island. The people who founded it, Boodle included, were refugees. They were running from pirates, trying to find a place where they could finally live in peace without fear. So they came to this empty island and built everything from the ground up, with their own hands. Every house, every street, every shop.
That context changes everything. This isn't just a town they live in, it's a sanctuary they created. It's the physical manifestation of their desire for peace. It's their life's work. Boodle declares that the town itself is his treasure. 40 years of peace and hard work built brick by brick.
And that hits so hard. We're in a pirate manga where treasure is supposed to be gold, jewels, chests full of loot. But Oda is already telling us, no, that's not what true treasure is. We're seeing a pattern emerge.
It's the exact same philosophy we've been exploring. Luffy's hat isn't treasure because it's a straw hat. It's treasure because it holds a promise to Shanks, a symbol of a dream. Chouchou's pet food store wasn't treasure because of its monetary value. It was treasure because it was the life work of his master. And now, Orange Town. Treasure isn't something you find. It's something you build. It's something someone poured their life and soul into. It's a promise. It's an inherited will.
And right on cue, as he says the word treasure, boom.
Buggy fires the first Buggy Ball. We get this incredible panel of this massive, stylized cannonball with Buggy's ridiculous Jolly Roger painted on it, arcing across the sky. It's almost comical until you see where it's heading. It slams directly into the mayor's house.
The explosion is ridiculous. It's not a normal cannonball explosion. It's not just a hole in the wall. The entire building just vanishes in a cloud of smoke and debris. It's total, utter annihilation. Oda draws the force of it so well you can practically feel the shockwave.
It's an act of psychological warfare. Buggy doesn't know who this tough man is or where he is, so he decides to just start blowing up the town piece by piece to flesh him out. It's cruel and indiscriminate, and the immediate panic sets in. Luffy and Boodle both scream because they know exactly who was inside that house.
Zoro, he was taking a nap in there. My heart jumped, man. Reading this for the first time, for a split second, you're like, there's no way. Nobody survives that. That's a weapon designed to sink battleships, and it just landed directly on his head while he was sleeping. That's a wrap. Pour one out for the swordsman.
The dust settles. The panel is just gray smoke and rubble. There's just a crater where the house used to be. And then a figure just stands up from the middle of it all.
He just gets up. He doesn't even look hurt. He looks a little confused, like someone just set off a really loud alarm clock right next to his ear, but he is completely, totally 100% unharmed. He's standing there, swords intact, bandana on his arm, looking around like, what was that noise?
Not a scratch on him, not a single cut. His clothes aren't even that torn up. It's one of the first truly superhuman feats of durability we see from someone without a devil fruit excuse.
Are you kidding me? It feels like Oda is making a statement right here. This is the first time we've seen one of the crew take a hit that should have been instantly, unequivocally fatal, and just walk it off. This isn't just being tough. This isn't grit. This is monstrous.
This is what it means to be on the crew of the future Pirate King. Your first mate can literally sleep through a direct hit from a specialized building-destroying cannonball. Super.
Okay, but think about what this means for the power scaling of the East Blue. We've seen cannonballs be a threat. We've seen them damage ships. We saw Luffy get hurt by Morgan's axe hand. This Buggy Ball is established as something far more powerful, a special weapon that the crew themselves hype up. And to Zoro, it was a minor inconvenience. It sets a baseline for the durability of this crew that is already beyond anything we've seen.
It tells every future villain that their big, scary, ultimate attack might not even be enough to wake these guys up from a nap. I absolutely love it. It's such a flex. But while Zoro is physically fine, the mayor is emotionally not.
He is broken. He's not even looking at Zoro. He's just staring at the crater. The crater where his house, his personal piece of the town he built, his life's work used to be. Everything he and his people built for 40 years is being torn apart, and that's the final straw.
The guilt from before, the shame of his inaction, now mixed with this explosive rage and despair, he just snaps. The fear is gone, burned away by something hotter. Nami tries to stop him. She screams at him, telling him it's suicide, but he doesn't care anymore. He starts running, screaming, a single old man charging straight towards Buggy's base.
He says he can't just sit by anymore. It's a complete reversal. He was paralyzed by fear before, but watching his treasure be destroyed shocked him out of it. The destruction of his past work has become the motivation for his future action. He'd rather die on his feet fighting for what's left than live on his knees watching it all burn.
It's reckless, just like the chapter title says, but it's a beautiful kind of reckless. And Luffy, watching him go, just gets this look on his face. The hat casts a shadow over his eyes. His mouth is set in a firm line, and he looks at Nami with that calm, dead serious expression he gets and says, I won't let him die.
There's no hesitation in that line. It's not a boast. It's not a hope. It's a statement of fact. It's like he's seeing the future. For Luffy, the outcome is already decided. The mayor will not die on his watch. He has willed it into existence with his conviction alone.
That's my captain. That's the guy you follow into the Grand Line. Then he turns to Nami, the moment still heavy, and just asks her to join him. Straight up, be my Nakama. No preamble, no sales pitch. He's already decided she's part of the crew. In his mind, it's a done deal.
And Nami, true to her character, immediately and forcefully shuts that down. I'm not becoming a pirate. You can feel the venom in that line. Her hatred for pirates is still stronger than her growing respect for Luffy. The very idea is insulting to her.
But she offers a compromise, and this is so Nami. It's perfect. She says she'll work with him. She'll form a temporary alliance. She'll team up with him to take down Buggy, but only for a price.
She'll help in exchange for any treasure they find. It's the perfect Nami solution. It allows her to maintain her principles while still doing what she knows is right. She gets the fight for the town, help Luffy, and get paid for it, all without having to sacrifice her core identity by calling herself a pirate. It's a business transaction.
It's a temporary alliance in her eyes, but Luffy doesn't care about the details at all. He got a yes to helping, and in his brain, that's all that matters. He's got his crew. Zoro's awake, Nami's on board, in his mind anyway, and they're ready to go kick some clown butt. The mission is on.
The chapter ends with a fantastic crosscut, really ramping up the tension. We see Buggy's crew. They've reloaded the cannon. Cabbagee is there, giving the order to load a second Buggy Ball, ready to fire again and wipe another piece of the town off the map.
And who is standing there, right in the line of fire, refusing to move? Mayor Boodle, a single old man with no powers, no weapons, just a metal pole standing against a cannon crew. It's an image of pure, hopeless defiance.
At the same time, we see the final panel.
Luffy, a now awake and probably grumpy Zoro, and a determined Nami running through the streets of Orangetown, heading straight for the fight. The race is on. Can the three of them get there before that cannon fires and obliterates the mayor?
What a perfect cliffhanger. It's so good. Boodle's making his last stand and the cavalry is coming. Let's go. Oda knows exactly how to build the tension for a proper showdown. This is classic shonen storytelling executed perfectly. It's a beautifully structured chapter. It's not just about moving the plot forward. Every character arc moves forward. Boodle finds his courage through despair. Nami makes a crucial choice that puts her on the path to joining the crew, even if she won't admit it. Luffy solidifies his role as a protector, and Zoro establishes that he's basically indestructible.
And there was a really fun author's comment this week from Oda. He shouts out his friend Hiroyuki Takei's manga, Butsu Zone, which was the precursor to Shaman King. It's such a cool piece of manga history because I believe they were actually assistants together under Watsuki, the creator of Rurouni Kenshin.
It's a nice reminder of the community behind all these stories we love. These aren't just rivals competing for spots in a magazine. They're friends who came up together, who respect each other's work. They're all fans of each other's stories too.
Exactly. They're just like us, geeking out about cool stories. So we're heading into the big fight, the first real 3-on-a-bunch-of-guys fight for this version of the Strauss Hat crew. We have so many questions about how this is going to go down, and I've just been turning theories over in my head.
Let's get into predictions for Chapter 15. The fuse is being lit as we speak. What do you see happening right at the start?
Okay, prediction 1 for me. Luffy is not gonna let that second Buggy Ball fire. But he's not going to punch the cannon, that's too simple. He's going to get there just as they light the fuse, and he's going to do a gum-gum balloon. We haven't seen it yet, but it makes perfect sense. He'll inflate his rubber body into a giant ball and just tank the shot, sending the Buggy Ball flying right back at them.
Turning their own ultimate weapon back on them? I like that. It's a very Luffy solution. It's defensive, but in a way that becomes an attack. It's also visually hilarious, which fits the tone of fighting a clown.
Right? It's effective and a little bit goofy. Okay, my second prediction is about Nami. She's made it very clear she's not a fighter yet. She's not going to start throwing punches. But she's a brilliant tactician and navigator. I think she's going to use the environment to her advantage. She's going to create a major distraction, maybe by setting a trap using the debris or using her knowledge of weather to create a thick, sudden fog bank off the nearby water. Something that throws the Buggy Pirates into chaos and gives Luffy and Zoro the opening they need.
So she contributes with her mind, not her fists. That fits perfectly with her character at this stage. She's the strategist, the brains of this impromptu operation. Okay, my turn. My first prediction is for Zoro. He just woke up. He's probably annoyed about the noise. I think he's going to outspeed the Cannonball entirely. Before Luffy even gets there to do his balloon thing, Zoro is just going to appear next to the cannon, a flash of movement, and use a single casual slash to cut the barrel clean in two. No big dramatic fight, just a, this is annoying, display of overwhelming power.
Oh, I love that. The absolute disrespect. This loud toy woke me up from my nap, so now it's broken. That is pure, uncut Roronoa Zoro. He doesn't see them as a threat, just an irritation. What's your second one?
My second prediction is that we're going to get a small but significant Buggy flashback. Mohji collapsing after saying, tough man, combined with Buggy seeing Luffy's straw hat up close for the first time, is going to click something in his mind. I think he's going to have a brief memory flash of a younger Shanks, or maybe even someone else from the Roger Pirates, wearing that same hat. It won't be the full story, just a panel or two that connects Luffy's hat to Buggy's past and explains why he might be more worried or even angry than he lets on.
Bro, that would be huge. The first real hint at Buggy's backstory and his connection to the big leagues. We know Shanks gave Luffy the hat, but we don't know its history before that. If Buggy recognizes it, that would recontextualize this whole fight from a random pirate squabble to something deeply personal for him. I really hope you're right on that one.
It feels like the right time for Oda to plant that seed. We'll find out next time.
Can't wait. All right, that's it for our deep dive into Chapter 14, Reckless. What a fantastic setup for the climax of the Orangetown arc.
This has been Inherited Dawn.
We'll see you on the next tide.